Lindsay, I never got that memo about the spiky hair thing being out, so I feel a little awkward up here right now. Just humor me here and laugh at a couple jokes, we'll get this over. I also want you to bear with me. I just found out at the 11th hour last night that there's actually not going to be a teleprompter, so I'm going to have to just use this notes. It's a little bit of a reference, and Lisa has me on a very tight schedule, so I'm going to try to get through this as quickly as possible. The truth is, I have been waiting for this moment my entire life. Welcome to the roast of Andrew Schiel. When Andrew asked me to be the roast master, I was really honored. But the truth is, I really did not know how long the speech should be. And, you know, we've all heard that famous adage that the best man's speech should be as long as the groom lasts in the bedroom. But honestly, I thought a 4-hour speech would be way too long. Did you see what I did there, Andrew? So that is on to me. The best man's speech should be like a miniskirt. Short enough to keep your attention, but long enough to cover the important parts. So, a couple of weeks ago, I thought it would be the considerate thing to do to reach out to my best friend Andrew and say, are there any topics that are off limits for this speech? And Andrew replied immediately, and I quote, there are about 100,000 topics off limits. Use your better judgment, son. So, I promise, I vow to all of you, I will try my best to get to as many of the 100,000 as possible. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ryan O'Dowd, but my relationship to Andrew can best be described by 2 words. Heterosexual life mate. People have referred to us as heterosexual life mates ever since the first grade was when we first met, which is really crazy when you think about it. We've known each other and really had this incredible connection since first grade. You know, and we've been, to be perfectly honest, to say that we've been attached to the hip is an understatement. Our relationship is, we've been incredibly close to the point where sometimes, when I'm talking, Andrew will just finish mine. It's uncanny. It's truly uncanny. Or when I say, like, Andrew is incredibly handsome. It's not foolproof. Sometimes that was not what I was going to say. But it works most of the time, I promise you. But the point is, we are incredibly close, and like I said, to say that we're close is a gross understatement. So, fast forward, when we graduated college, Andrew and I decided to pack up the 1996 mint condition navy blue Ford Explorer, set out for Los Angeles. Okay? We took a 2-week tour across the country. We shared hotel rooms, sometimes even hotel beds. We split bottles of Pinot Grigio along the way. We were in our pastel clothes phase at that time where we wore nothing but pastels. It was kind of like Brokeback Mountain in the Ford Explorer. Heading west. So, fast forward a few more years when Andrew tells me I met someone I really, really like. You know, I was happy for him, to be perfectly honest, part of me was sad. I mean, I was thinking to myself, who's going to ride bikes with me to the beach on the weekend? Who's going to be my new beach volleyball teammate? How can I find another 6'7" guy to replace him? Who's going to shave my neck hair for me? Right? So I thought, okay. So he found someone he really likes. I have to know who it is. I needed a name. So he said, the name is Regi from Ann Arbor. So I decided to do my due diligence as his best friend. I Googled Regi Ann Arbor. That's when I found out that Regi was a 250-pound black man who played linebacker for the Michigan Wolverines. I was a little surprised, but he's my best friend. I'm going to support him no matter who he chooses. Okay? And then I actually met Regi and I saw how much she had changed since her college football days. Remarkable change. I mean, look at her today. The amount of weight she sheds since college football, it's incredible. But I guess I should have seen it coming. You know, in typical Hollywood fashion, Andrew left me for another woman. And you want to know what the worst part was? The worst part was she had a better body than me. In a way, I was really, really happy that Andrew found such a striking, beautiful, smart, driven, amazing, amazing girl. But, you know, I was so happy because as his roommate, I have to admit, there were some times I really had my concerns for Andrew. The first thing that was working against him was the two of us shared a 2-bedroom apartment with our other good friend John Bedford, who's right there. So we had 3 dudes, big dudes, in a small, small 2-bedroom apartment in Marina Del Rey. And John, at that point, had converted our dining... He was living in our dining room, essentially. And by that, he put a bed in our dining room and called it a bedroom. So that was when John was actually pursuing his male modeling. It didn't work out for obvious reasons. So he's sitting right here. If you look at his face, it just doesn't have the symmetry. Sensitive subject, but I think it will work out for John. But back to Andrew. There were a couple of issues that were really not helping his overall marketability and his sex appeal, despite the fact that he does look like Prince William with a much better head of hair. The first issue was that he grinds his teeth at night. Okay, so the issue with that was the dentist told him, look, I need you to wear this night guard. This is the only way to deal with it. He had to wear a ginormous mouth guard to bed every night. And I don't know if you've ever heard someone saying good night to you with a mouth guard, but it sounds like Drew Barrymore after 10 Cosmos. It's not good. It wasn't really helping his sex appeal. The second thing was that Andrew has, for those of you who know him well, a little bit of a sweating issue. Now, at the time, he was having to apply a little bit of this serum to the palms of his hands before he went to bed, and wear a pair of latex gloves. So, between the mouth guard and the latex gloves, it was like, he looked like a really imposing proctologist. It was not good. So, when I found out that Regi was apparently totally turned on by the sweating thing, I was so shocked. I was so happy that someone was willing to take this man in. You know, and honestly, Regi, we are all very thankful that you took him in, because it was looking bleak for some time. So in closing, Regi actually told me last night at the rehearsal dinner that she felt like when she first started dating Andrew that she was interviewing for a job. And that she felt like I was grilling her and really laying it on thick with the questioning in the very beginning of their relationship. I am not going to lie, I took it pretty seriously. I was checking references. My mom's actually an FBI agent, so I ran a little background check. You do have an unpaid parking ticket in North Carolina. You might want to get that dealt with. I might have plucked a hair and run a little drug test. She was clean. She also had incredible hair, very well conditioned. No Regi reminded me about all the rounds of interviews I carried out with her. One in particular at the 50s diner that we used to frequent, and the line of questioning that I had. Very, very deep questions that really told me a lot about someone and if she was qualified to be with my heterosexual life mate. The first of which was, you're going to be on a desert island. What 5 movies are you bringing and why? I can only bring 5. Regi's responses were Breakfast Club, Dark Knight, Dumb and Dumber, The Notebook, and Clueless. Yeah. Okay, so I said, okay, I'm going to make it to round 2. I can live with that. So I said, Regi, you're on death row. Right now, your last meal, what's going to be? Tell me your last meal. She said, Alaskan king crab legs and bin candy. So I thought to myself, on the one hand, she has this very aristocratic palate with these Alaskan king crab legs, and then she has like a 5-year-old's palate with this bin candy. And I decided to run the hair follicle test again because that sounded like the diet of a stoner. But she was clean, came back clean again. So after careful consideration, Regi, I'm very pleased to announce that we at Heterosexual Lifemates Incorporated are happy and pleased to offer you the job. After all the rounds of interviews, you got the job. You start right now, full benefits. Told HR that you can consummate your love in the conference room as long as you video a conference soon. But I'm gonna wrap this thing up right now because I can see Andrew starting to sweat and Regi's starting to get that look in her eye. But before, So let's raise a toast. I actually don't have my champagne. If one of our company interns could please bring me my champagne. Thank you, Jack. This kid's got a future, I'm telling you. Clear my schedule tomorrow. I'm going to be very hungover and cancel my meeting with Dick Tiggin. So let's all raise our glasses. But before we do, I'd like Regi, if you could please put out your hand. Put your glasses down first. Make this little thing work. Regi, put out your hand. Andrew, put your hand on top. Regi, put your hand back on top. And Andrew, put your hand on top. Now, Andrew, I really want you to savor this moment because this is the last time the rest of your life you're ever going to have the upper hand. To Andrew and Regi, honestly, I love you both so much. Andrew, you'll always be my heterosexual life mates. I'm so happy for you guys. I'm so honored to be standing here right now. The Schiel family, I love you guys more than anything. Cheers to Andrew and Regi.
Very lovely. Killed it.
Good. It was so good. It was really good. Yeah, I got it off.
Yeah, I got it.